Ray Epps is finally being charged after his involvement in January 6th, where we have video evidence. It took 2.5 years for this to happen, which is just crazy. We have Daily Wire reporting last night that buried deep in a lawsuit that Epps is filing, lawyers said that the Department of Justice recently informed him that they're planning to prosecute him for his involvement, and that there are multiple video clips of him the day before and the day of to Trump supporters saying to go into the Capitol the next day or go into the Capitol that day. And then, of course, we have his lawsuit against Fox. We have that from Axios here saying that he emerged as the center of right-wing conspiracy theories after he participated in the January 6th Capitol riot. He's accusing Fox News and Tucker Carlson specifically of spreading falsehoods that he was an undercover FBI agent that was there at the scene responsible for inciting a riot. He said that just like they focused on the Dominion voting machines and blaming it for the results of the 2020 election, it's very similar here, trying to find a scapegoat. And he said that Tucker Carlson specifically has created a years-long campaign against Ray Epps. So all of that being said, that's kind of the bigger story here. And I mean, you have videos of somebody, like regardless, in Minecraft, allegedly, he is a federal agent. Okay? Allegedly, he is, but he says he is not. So regardless, he says that they're defaming him by claiming falsehoods. Now, I've seen no documentation to provide for sure if or not that he's a federal agent. To be honest, I kind of gave up on the whole Ray Epps thing like 2 years ago because it gets boring. I mean, I feel like a lot of people see this when we're talking about the 2020 election in general. We get kind of bored with it. And so, like, the Dominion voting machine thing was exhausted. The Ray Epps stuff was exhausted. But then he went to say, I'm going to sue Fox News now that I have charges being brought against me, and now everyone's talking about it again. But now that action is actually being taken, I feel like it is the right time to talk about it. Just knowing what we know now. So, he, man, I mean, it's a good thing that they're actually trying to lock people up who actually did something this time. That's usually a pretty good thing, considering the fact that there's people waiting in a jail cell against their Bill of Rights, rights, like their literal rights.
Yeah, someone being in there for over 2.5 years without charge.
Solitary.
Yep.
Solitary confinement, which messes with you. And like, I understand these things take time, but it doesn't take 2.5 years to, first of all, figure out what you're going to charge someone with. In the case of the guy I can't remember his name, but the guy that's been locked up for 2.5 years after this, with no charges, forcing him to take a deal for a crime he probably didn't commit. I don't know what they're trying to charge him with or what the plea bargain is for technically, but I do also know that, like, so I live in Michigan, you guys know that. In the city of Grand Rapids, there was a famous case of Patrick Loyola. I can never say it. It's like Loyola or something like that. And this is one of those cases where I think the police officer should be charged. It was pretty bad. He didn't have documentation or something was going on. It ended up in an on-foot pursuit. And the cop tackled him, but instead of trying to just like shoot him in like a leg or something, just subdue him or tase him, the cop shot him executioner style in the back of the head.
That's not.
I'm sorry, but like that's the number one thing in self-defense cases is if someone is shot in the back of the head or their back or just like somewhere in
any execution style.
Not by the front, but from the back. Any shot from the back is clear someone was trying to run away.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they won't let you do that in the case. Like if you're trying to claim, this is like
you can't claim self-defense.
You can't claim self-defense when you shot someone in the back.
Yeah.
And so the fact he had him down on the ground and there was backup then in pursuit as well. He shot him, like, that's the one case, but like even then people are complaining that case is taking too long, and that happened like a year or two ago, and they're still trying, but they have charges, right? They have real charges against him that they're bringing up, and they're providing these like it's different than the situation with this, I can't remember his name, but the guy sitting in a jail cell
I tried looking it up, but I can't find it right now. I'll keep looking for his name.
Weird. It's almost like Google isn't letting you try to find it.
I know.
But with Ray Epps, the fact that they didn't even try, like they had video evidence and they didn't try to lock this guy up, at least hold him or have him pay a bond or have him, like, if he pays a bond or whatever, then like it's fine to show up for your trial date. That's how the criminal justice system works. He didn't do anything inherently violent. But if the riot he did incite caused the death of Ashley Babbitt, that's another story. But we don't have proof of that, and it's kind of a reach. So you have to just get him on inciting a riot on federal grounds, and they're finally doing that. But I just feel like it's too little, too late, because it's been years of this, and now he's saying, "Oh, I'm going to sue them for defamation because these things aren't true," and that's a suit he could win depending on the judge. So that's a little bit concerning, that he could actually win this lawsuit and still be prosecuted. I mean,
Yep.
both things can be true at one time. Did you end up finding his name?
Nope, I can't find his name right now. There's a bunch of articles.
Weird.
There's a bunch of articles that will just talk about the January 6th. It just gives lists of people who are a bunch of articles that just talk about this person, this person, this person have been locked up, but it doesn't want to talk about the
Yeah, I think that multiple
there
times.
I know there is
Multiple.
one person that is locked up right now that has not been charged.
Yeah. Like, as we're
Eventually,
speaking, this person's in a jail cell. Like, that's
they're in a
crazy.
jail cell, not
2023.
charged, and they're not like and trying to find it. You just get buried in news articles that talk about just all of them and all the January Sixers who were jailed as total, but not like the one guy that's sitting in a cell in solitary,
Yeah.
and it's yeah, I don't.
Crazy. I know.
And then you got
Crazy.
Ray Epps who took 2.5 years while other guys got no knocked rated like weeks after January 6th for doing way less than he was, where he was, encouraging and inciting people to, quote, allegedly, I got put up the allegedly because, we're not, I don't want to get sued by Ray Epps too. But yeah, all in Minecraft, he was telling people to rush the Capitol.
Yeah, exactly. And like there's video footage of it. Yeah, it's bad. The whole thing is bad. And but I'm just glad they finally got this brought up. It's happening, and finally we're seeing some sort of justice, but it's delayed and it's kind of too, like I said, too little, too late.